Hello once again, Star Wars and Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and today I have a little bit of a different type of unboxing. Probably would be more like to call it a viewing instead of an unboxing, and I'll tell you why. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, I was one of the 8,000 plus backers for the HasLab Jabba sail barge action figure vehicle that Hasbro is going to make, and they are going to ship, I believe, as early as February of next year, 2019. Well, since backing that, and since enough backer, they only needed 5,000, and they got closer to 8. They have made good on one of their promises, which was to almost immediately after the due date of, I think it was like the beginning of April, they almost immediately sent out a booklet that kind of details a little bit more about the whole process. And I have that booklet here. It's actually it's a little bit more than a booklet. It's basically like a book. It's called Behind the Workbench, Jabba's Sail Barge, or the Katana. There it is. So what I'd kind of like to do is maybe set the camera over my shoulder and kind of do a little walkthrough of it, so you can get an idea of what this book is. For those of you that are not getting it, we can live vicariously through this. Okay, so again, the barge itself is being constructed as we speak, or as I broadcast, but it's going to be coming, and it's going to take a few months to almost a year before we receive it. But I can promise you that as soon as we get it, we will do a massive unboxing episode, and probably we may even do it live. We'll see. All right, so why don't we take a closer look at this? All right, here we go. Okay, so as we said, this is HasLab's Behind the Workbench booklet for the Katana Jabba's sail barge. I'm not going to read the whole book to you, of course. We're just going to kind of page through it. But you can see it's got a lot of nice close-ups. Just this. Close-ups of the rendering of it. Okay, now I believe that this is a kind of a 3D printed idea, which I'm really excited about. I think that ever since the advent of 3D printing kind of started coming in as a thing, I knew that eventually the price would become scaled down, and there would be a lot of options. So that is real exciting to see that happen. Mark Bordeaux is the creator at Hasbro, designed and built every Millennium Falcon toy. Okay, and he just did an amazing job with Hasbro. He's been there for 40 plus years. So to have him get on top of this, he definitely cares about what he's doing. Then it talks about the barge in general. Okay, the concept phase. Here's some great concept art. And some different style of concept art, which I like too. Ralph McQuarrie, of course, the brilliant conceptual artist. And then they have some official Lucasfilm blueprints, which are fantastic. I have another book, which maybe I'll do the same kind of a I guess I can't really call it an unboxing, but I'll do the same kind of idea for that, where you actually see a lot of the blueprints from the Star Wars films, the original trilogy. They're pretty fantastic to look at. And then the barge sets sail, and you can see it. And for those who don't realize that by the way, for those young folk who may not know this, the Jabba sail barge was made its appearance initially in The Return of the Jedi, which was the third film to be released, but titled Episode 6. And for the Jabba sail barge, they actually built the whole set, which is fantastic and amazing and unbelievable that they could do that for what really amounted to about 6 minutes to 12 minutes, somewhere around there. Some great behind-the-scenes footage. Might be hard to make out here, but I'm sure online somebody has scanned every page of this. Give you an idea, though. That's a nice one. Shot from the back. Again, some never-before-seen footage and film. Here's them designing this is the actual model that was used in the filming. Some great character shots. Hasbro builds the barge, and then it gets into this story about all the people involved with the actual design and construction of the toy. I love phase 1, we heard you. This, I guess, crowdsourced funding for toys and, you know, for collectible items is a really awesome thing, and I hope that they continue this. It's a great way for collectors to put their money where they want, as opposed to, you know, now that they've given up on the completist collector, the most completists are done. Gives you a nice idea. Look at all those pieces. Oh my goodness. I hope it doesn't come like that. That to me is a little too much like a model. And not that I have anything against model making. I think that's great, but you know, I'd like it to be a little bit easier to construct. I like how they do a little cross section so you can understand the playability factor, and I love how they have Jabba in there. Just to give you an idea of the size, you can see how many figures you can fit in here. What I plan to do is I have a nice little tabletop kind of. Well, I have a display case that I can have space on top of it. I'm gonna just rest the whole thing right on the display case, and I'm gonna put lots and lots of figures. I need pretty much all of my loose figures that have anything to do with Tatooine or Jabba's palace. I'll be putting in there. This part I like. It's got the little steering. Never really seen in the film, so they have to kind of design it. And they included here an action figure. I don't know if this is just a rendered model like on the computer, or if this is an actual thing. I do know they built this. I do know that they built a prototype, and I'm assuming that everything was just 3D printed. Oh, this. The kitchen. Because lots of adventures happen in the kitchen. I love the hanging frogs from there. That's cute. Even a creature in the looks like it's a skeleton of a Thorian, I believe. So that's interesting. They also have ways to install guns off the side. I don't know if they're gonna come with them or if their figures are gonna have guns that you can attach. This is a cool little feature. It has the blueprint model idea where you can see it. Here's the drawing. It's kind of hard to make out, but here's the drawing of it over the photo, and then here's the other side. And I think it goes back this way. So it's really just this. This is really what it is, but you can see it. This is the rendering. This is the blueprint drawing over the rendering. It's just a nice little effect. And there you have the more completed version. It is going to come in addition with a Jabba the Hutt figure. It's going to come with a yak face figure. Okay, and yak face figure, that is a rarity. Okay, right. Yak face was a figure that was not released in this country. It was released in other countries. It was like the final figure of the original collection. And there's HasLab. We really do care. All right. Okay, so that is the HasLab Behind the Workbench booklet, the first part of Hasbro's or HasLab's promise. They have made good on, and I think they did a really nice job. It's a well put together book. It is it's you know, I wouldn't call it a table book or an art book of any kind, but it definitely has a little bit more weight to it than a typical magazine cover book would do. So yay on Hasbro for that. I did want to share one thing with you before we go, and that is this. This is the tri-logo yak face action figure thing that came with it. Now, I'll be honest with you folks, you know, when I purchased this was a long time ago. I do not believe it is a forgery, but at the same time, I know the figure's real, but at the same time, you know, in terms of whether it's on the card or whatever, I bought this a long time ago. When I bought it, even buying wherever you bought yak face, there was no eBay, so just to give you an idea how long ago I bought this. This was done completely online, and or not even online. No, what am I saying? It was done through, you know, handwriting mail. So I didn't pay an exorbitant amount of money for it. So I don't know if it's real or not. I do feel though that I'm pretty sure that the card is real. I do think though that it was the figure is real. I do think though it was probably recarded only because the reason I say that is because it doesn't come with a weapon. So that's my take on that. It doesn't bother me whether it was real or not. I did not pay enough for it to feel like I got lost or cheated in any way. So, in any case, but that's the figure. This was kind of like the highly sought after figure that they're going to remake. Now, they have released a newer version of Yak Face in the past, but, just the idea of it being kind of part of Jabba's sail barge, that was where that character was seen, albeit for like a second. But still, it's kind of a neat idea. And I was really excited about it, as I mentioned in the past episodes. I'm really happy that they're doing this. There have been some complaints about that. I respect people's opinions, but in my case, I think it's good. I think that if you don't want it, you don't have to buy it, and this gives people the opportunity. So, all right, so that'll do it for this week's edition of Star Wars, the Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, get the word out. I've had a few comments coming back saying, how come more people don't know about this show? I said, well, it's a niche item, and I'm not sitting there putting out advertisements in magazines or anything like that, so it's just word of mouth. That's the only way people know. And do me a favor, get people to subscribe. I mean, the more subscribers I have, the more the word gets out. Even if you have friends that don't really watch a lot of YouTube, but if they could subscribe, it doesn't really hurt anything. If you subscribe to it, it just kind of comes up on your subscription page when you do it. So for those of you who are just watching it now, just hit the subscribe button. There's no obligation. I'm not going to send you emails. There's not going to be any kind of weirdness to that. If you want to be reminded of it, there's a notification. It looks like a bell. You click on that, and then you get notified on your devices when a new episode comes up. I generally upload them on Sundays and Wednesdays. I skipped one this week, but generally it's Sundays and Wednesdays. So hopefully you'll spread the word about this. I also have a Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing page on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Darth Tuba. And leave comments or email me darthtuba77@gmail.com. I have a fairly extensive collection. If there's some things, just some specific items you'd like me to showcase, if not unbox or already, if they're already unboxed, if you'd like me to showcase them, I'll be happy to do so. So thank you so much. See you next time. Until then, may the Force be with you.